When the glory comes, it will be ours. It will
Hello,
be
today I want to
ours.
talk to you a little bit about to do what is just or moral
When the
leadership.
war is
So I'm filming this today, Sunday, May 24th. Yesterday was the 1 year anniversary that I received an award from Micah, which is an amazing Milwaukee group of inner city faith based leaders and congregants. The name of the award was the To Do What Is Just Award. I was super honored and just really humbled by the recognition because so many of the past honorees had done so many great things. And so it was super humbling to be in the mix. But when I started thinking about the To Do What Is Just award, I was like, wow, like that speaks to where we are as a people if we have to like literally award someone for doing the right thing. In my mind, everybody should always be trying to do the right thing. I wanted to kind of reflect on my journey as a leadership, and I asked myself, like, have I always done what was right? Did I always make the right decision? Whether that was leading a major district equity initiative or serving students in the classroom, K 12, or my college students, or being a middle school administrator, did I always do what was just? Upon that reflection, what I came up with is I really think that there is a spectrum of moral leadership. I mean, there is the purest of pure, and then there's the reality. There is to do what is just, to do what is right, to do what you can, to do nothing, and to do the wrong thing. Unfortunately, in leadership, a lot of times people do nothing, and they do sometimes do the wrong thing, which results in some of the chaotic situations that we currently see. In my time in the academy as an assistant professor for several years, I have really met some of the most brightest thinkers around educational leadership and leadership issues. One of the things that's super important to realize is that as a school administrator or a school teacher or practitioner, and you are making a difference, researchers or scholars want to get your best practices and they formulate theories to create best practices. So, a lot of my colleagues in the academy really are what I call purists. Their theories are about to do what is just to be in the highest, purest form of what will actually impact the well being and the achievement of students. One of my favorite experiences in the academy was being a part of a group called Leaders for Social Justice. And this was a special interest group attached to the American Educational Research Association. And in this group, we just really highlighted the best practices of educational leaders that were really taking marginalized students and schools that were considered marginalized and really turning them around, making a difference. So looking at issues of class, race, socioeconomic status, looking at students who had special needs and everything, just to make sure that though that research highlighted the best practices. So that was my favorite space because it made me believe all things are possible as it pertains to our students. Being a strong equity leader sometimes requires that we right the wrongs. Well, currently, there are decisions that are being made that's not necessarily in the best interest of people. I'm not sure who they're in the best interest of, but at the end of the day, we need to figure out who we're serving. After a lot of back and forth in our state legislature and the Supreme Court and all of that, Wisconsin is now open. I mean, like open, open. A lot of no social distancing, a lot of no mask, a lot of troubling things that hopefully don't lead to more cases and ultimately deaths in our state. So, what do we do? If you are a leader in Wisconsin, if you're a leader of a business, if you're a leader of a school or a school district, what is it that you will do? There's a spectrum again. I mean, is it the purest form to do what is just, meaning that you close it all down, you keep it closed, and you don't worry about who or who may not be able to make it through, regardless of their situation? Or to do the right thing? If you choose to open up, are you making sure that everybody is safe, that you're doing the proper training, and that you're making sure people have PPE and the social distancing, all of that is intact? Do you do what you can? Just write up some guidelines and say good luck? Do you do nothing? Like not respond to emails or concerns from the employees or families or clients that you're serving? Just don't respond. Do nothing. Or do you do the wrong thing by giving out wrong information or making people feel that things are okay when they really could be in danger? Like that's important because no matter what leadership, good or bad, people will follow just because you're in that role. You're the leader. So do you do the right thing or the wrong thing? This kind of is all related to whether or not you believe a leader is born or if a leader is natural. And when I think of leadership, one of the leaders I think about is my dad, my pops. Like he is that guy that no matter what, he gets in a room and he kind of solves problems and people gravitate to him. He even told me one time he was on a jury and when it was time to pick the foreman, the other 11 people like didn't even know him, but they kind of looked at him and said, I think he should be the foreman. So like he is a leader. But one of the things about my dad is he's consistently surrounding himself in good counsel. He has mentors and people that he listens to as he makes decisions. And so as a natural leader, you still have to make sure that you have good sound counsel around you to make sound moral decisions. You have to ask yourself, are you a leader because that leadership position is something that you always wanted? You're next in line, but are you able to do the job? It's more than just telling people what to do, but it's filled with a lot of other responsibilities that are crucial to making sound and moral leadership decisions. This illustration was posted by Bridget Robinson, one of my mentees, about leadership. But a lot of times when people aren't properly prepared to be leaders, they do think that it's all about just telling people what to do, when all actuality there are a number of critical, crucial elements that go into being a leader. Good leaders actually do have at their core integrity and they want to do what is just. They actually have a vision to lead folks, even when it's tough. They use their power in positive ways, always praising their team for the accomplishments. They continuously are self-aware, making sure that they are checking their biases. And they listen before they speak and use empathy in their leadership. Do you have the capacity to lead in tough times like now? Do you feel that you're able to navigate and really honor and serve those that you are tasked to lead with? It's a question you need to ask. One of the things that I remember from my time as an assistant professor is I used to have a lot of students. They would want recommendation letters, and it was always interesting to me that the students who might not turn their work in, that were the worst in working with other groups, they would come to class late, would not put the full effort in doing their papers. These would be some of the first people that wanted me to write them a letter to endorse them to become an administrator. And I would always say, yeah, no. My grandmother used to say, you're not rich, you don't have power, you don't have prestige, all you have is your name. So I'm going to write a letter to someone who's exhibiting that leadership quality that I think would be excellent in a leadership role. But what's always interesting is the students that had the most thoughtful homework assignments, or those that worked with others well, that were really about bringing in additional resources. Those would be the ones that I would have to encourage. I would say, are you going to apply for a principal job or special ed supervisor or whatever that was? And so you have to really ask yourself, are you prepared to lead? And if you are not stepping up to the plate, we need you. We need you to step up to the plate, because we need strong leadership. I definitely do not want to turn the discussion of moral leadership into a political debate, because there are leaders of all political parties that do actually do what is just. But I would like to highlight the leadership that I've seen in Governor Andrew Cuomo. Governor Cuomo has listened to the health experts and listened to the good counsel of his other governor colleagues and the needs of the people that he is leading. In this particular quote, he basically is acknowledging that to do what is just or to do what is right could actually cost him politically. Given the political nature of something like an election or having your contract renewed or whatever that is, if you choose to do nothing or to do the wrong thing and remain in leadership, are you able to live with the devastating consequences of your decisions? In closing, I just want to say this time off has really shown me who I want to be as a leader coming out of this COVID situation. If you want to be a moral or a just leader, you always have to start with yourself. But then think about, who can you influence? What can you influence? And that even goes with how we handle coming out of stay-at-home orders. What can you do with your family? Can you make sure that you wear a mask? Can you limit your interactions as much as possible and take the proper precautions to keep yourself safe, but also keep in mind the safety of those around us? I am going to remain to be a truth teller. I hope to be able to inspire others to reach down and figure out what their leadership looks like. I want them to do what is just as much as they can and make a difference in the world. Thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment on this video, like it, and share it.